Hi, welcome back to Beyond PG. I'm Addy.
And I'm Ben.
And today we are going to be reviewing Alien. It's one of my favorite movies, and I can't wait for y'all to see this.
Yeah, Alien is the landmark 1979 sci-fi horror film from director Ridley Scott. It's been referred to as Jaws in space. The comparison is sort of apt from the uncomplicated and otherworldly lethality of the monster in both films to the relatively small amount of time the monster is visible to the audience, to the way both films make excellent use of their settings. We watched this last night. It was your third time.
Yes.
When we first were going to watch this, what were some of your thoughts going into that viewing?
I've never really seen a scary movie before. This was my first really scary movie, and I was actually a little bit worried that I wasn't gonna like scary movies. And I loved it. It gets better every single time. You guys have to see this. It's amazing.
Yeah, because we've watched movies since then, and you've said, well, I thought so-and-so was scarier, or it was pretty good. But every time we watch it, you gain sort of a little bit more appreciation for it sounds like.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah, what do you think? Would you recommend this movie to some of your friends?
Oh yeah, I would watch this over and over again with anybody who hasn't seen it.
It's scary, but it's not the kind of horror movie that you're really gonna be disturbed by. It's a pretty straightforward setup. I really love the slow burn that this movie pulls off. It's sort of ratcheting up of tension. You can tell all the characters get more and more anxious as they respond to this mysterious signal. The claustrophobic spaces of the ship, the strangeness of the mundane things, their food that they're eating, just gives you a real sense of unease. The fact that there's clearly tension between the characters of the film as they go about their work, which is not heroic or monumental or anything. They're just workers who have a job to do. And I really like the way that the story beats propel the movie forward. Everything happens because of what's come before it. What are some other thoughts of yours? Who are your favorite characters? What scenes did you like the best?
Obviously, Ripley. She always seemed to be on the rational side of things. And I liked the computer room, which they called Mother, where they were talking to basically the ship. And I thought that was really cool how they made that. And also whenever they thought that, so they have a cat in the spaceship, and I liked it whenever they thought the alien was Jones. It was they heard something and they're like, oh my gosh, it's the alien, but it was actually the cat.
Yeah, the cat, they used the cat to great effect in this movie. I thought the coolest scene was probably them exploring the alien planet for the beacon. What the filmmakers call the space jockey. You sort of see that other alien creatures, they say it's a fossil, basically. It's been fossilized. It really gives you the sense that there's more going on in this movie than we're going to get a sense of and that we're going to engage with. The sort of practical workers of the movie don't really worry too much about these really strange caves and things that they're discovering, but it really helps you to understand that there's a deeper world at play here. If you hadn't seen it, go watch it. It's great. And I think that this movie, it's rated R, but I think that this movie is really okay for younger viewers who are trying to watch it. Obviously, use your best judgment. There's only really one kind of graphic scene, and it is startling, but it's not necessarily gratuitous. The tension and the scares are there, but if you've watched any other scary movies and your family members are okay with those, and they'll probably be okay with this one. So I think it's really worth going forward. This is one of the first movies that we watched and I was like, she ready for this? And I'm really glad we watched it. So go check it out. All right, so if you're watching now, you're going to maybe have some things spoiled. It's a pretty old movie though, so I'm not sure you can even spoil old movies. But what were some of your favorite scenes?
I liked it when they were talking to Ash after they discovered that, spoiler, he was a robot. And I was like, oh my gosh, that makes so much sense, because he's just so, he really wants to take the organism back to Earth, and he's always like, I don't care, you guys are expendable. And
yeah, and watching it again, knowing that, you pick up on the many, many things that he does to sort of allow what happens to happen. I love it when Ripley says, well, Mother decrypted part of the message, and it's not a distress beacon, it's a warning. And he says, well, okay, thanks, but let's just let this keep playing out as is. right? When Ripley's trying to keep them off of the ship, he lets them in the ship, and just on and on, he does things that propel the tragedy that occurs throughout the second half of the film.
I liked it when they were in the off-world and they found that huge skeleton and it saw like the rib cage like imploded. I don't know what it's called.
Yeah, the alien had a chest burster.
Yeah.
That whole thing is explored in some of the prequel films that have come out. Those were sort of split decision from audiences and critics alike on whether or not those movies are good. It's a really cool world they've set up, and they show you like a very practical side of it. I like the fact that in this film, none of the characters are heroes. None of them are doing anything particularly heroic. Some of them are essentially useless the entire film. And they're just workers. They're just workers on a rig looking to get paid, and they're thrust in this terrible situation. Obviously, like you said, Ripley shows some real leadership and survivability, but the rest of them are, sort of nothing special. Let's talk about the relationship between the spaces, the setting in the film. This time around, I really noticed how the different scenes, the different walls, the different equipment used really was played up for great effect to hide the creature, to disguise your line of sight, to keep the tension high in those moments of action. That was really smartly done.
Yeah, there's so many nooks and crannies.
I really love that the last major sequence where she sets the self-destruct, tries to get on the shuttle, is blocked from getting on the shuttle, goes and tries to turn off the self-destruct, can't do it, has to go back to the shuttle.
In the meantime, the cat is being thrown around.
Yeah. The alien is only in that whole sequence for about 3 seconds.
Yeah.
What would you say the total screen time for the alien was in this movie? I actually know this because I saw it.
5 minutes?
Yeah, 4 minutes. The alien's only on screen for 4 minutes
Wow.
total in this movie.
In the 2 hours of this movie, 4 minutes.
That's right.
Okay, well, thanks for watching, and we hope to see you next time. Bye.